Hi, this is Jeline from the Honors Tutorial. Our topic for today is about converting percent to fraction and decimal form. This is for Mathematics 7. So let us have our example for today. We have here 20%. We have to change that into fraction and decimal. So my advice for you is to have the decimal form first before we convert it into a fraction. So remember that in order for us to get the percentage, we get the value from the decimal and then we multiply it by 100. So that now we're going to reverse what we usually do in order for us to get the percentage coming from the decimal because we want to produce the decimal from the percentage. So we will get 20 here. And then we will divide it by 100. So what are we going to do now? Are we going to use the long division method for it? No, we are not going to do that. Let's have the shortcut method for 20 divided by 100. So let's have 20. I will write it here below. And then please count the number of zeros in 100. So we have here 2. Since we are dividing, because the operation is for division, we have to move our decimal point from right to left because it is division. So it is where our decimal point is, but it is invisible because 20 is a whole number. So let's move it twice from right to left. So 1, 2. So this is where our decimal point is now. So we have here 0.20, but in order for us to write it correctly or properly, we will add 0 here. So the decimal point of this is 0.20. And then we will write it here, 0.20. Or 20 hundredths. Next, let us have the fractional part. For the fractional part of it, just write 20 as your numerator here, write it here, and then count the digit after the decimal point. So we have here 1 and 2. So we will be having two zeros here and then 1. So we have here 100. Now we will evaluate if it is the final answer, but no, it is not. It is because there's still a number that can divide the numerator and denominator at the same time without remainder. So let's divide it by 20. So 20 divided by 20 is 1. 100 divided by 20 is 5. So the fractional part is 1 over 5. And that's it. 20% is 1/5 as a fraction and 20 hundredths as the decimal. Okay, let's have another example. So we have here 35%. Same process. Let's have the decimal part first. Let's divide 35 by 100. And then since we have here our whole number, which is 35, and two zeros here in 100, let's move the decimal point twice from left, from right to left. So this is where our decimal point is. Again, for whole numbers, it is invisible, but it is there. It is after the ones digit, and which is 5. So we're going to move from right to left. So 1, 22. So this is where our decimal point is now. So we have here 0.35. Let's write it correctly. So please place 0 in front of the decimal point. So we have here 0.35 for the decimal. How about the fractional part? Please have 35 here as your numerator. So 35 over count the number after the decimal point. So you have here 1 and 2. So you have here 100. And then just evaluate if it is already in its simplest form. It is not, right? Why? Because there's still a number that can divide 35 and 100 at the same time without remainder. And what is that number? That's 5. We can use 5 here. 35 divided by 5, that's 7. 100 divided by 5, that's 20. Is it the final answer? Yes, it is. Because there's no number that can divide the numerator and denominator at the same time without remainder. So therefore, it is 7 over 20. So therefore, 35% is equal to 7 over 20 as a fraction and 0.35 as a decimal, or 35 hundredths. Let's have our next example. So we have here 44%. Same process. Please have 44 divided by 100. So in order for us to not use the long division method, just move the decimal point twice from right to left. So 1, 2. So we have here 0.44, but let's write it properly. So just add 0 before the decimal point. So we have here 0.44 or 44 hundredths. Let's have the fractional part. For the fractional part, just get this, the number after the decimal point. So write 44 and then count the digits that we have here after the decimal point. So we have here 1 and 2. So we have here 100 and then just evaluate if it is already in its simplest form. It is not. It is because there's still a number that can divide 44 and 100 at the same time without remainder. So what is that number? We can use 2. 44 divided by 2 is 22. 100 divided by 2 is 50. Is it the final answer? No, it's not. Because there's still a number that can divide 22 and 50 at the same time without remainder. That's 2. So therefore, our answer is equal to 22 divided by 2, that's 11. And then don't forget the fraction bar. Let's have it here. And then 50 divided by 2, that is 25. So let's write 25 here. Is there any number that can divide 11 and 25 at the same time without remainder? No, there's none. So therefore, 11 over 25 is the final answer. So that we can say that 44% is equal to 11 over 25 and 44 hundredths as a decimal. Thank you for listening today about this topic. If you have inquiries about the topic or the lesson, kindly message our FB page, which is the Honors Tutorial. Thank you and God bless.